Hello, everyone, and welcome to the channel Not So Budget Mom. Okay, so I have been deathly ill. I definitely got whatever it was my boyfriend had. So it's just been a really, really rough week, especially because nothing in life slows down nowadays when you get sick. I literally cannot stand the way that society is today. I'm not even going to lie. That might be my sickness coming out of me and I'm being negative today, but let's get into it. So I literally want to call this channel the Hot Mess channel because it definitely ain't budgeting going on around here. Guys, I can't even lie. And the math don't math. The budgeting ain't happening. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. But it's like, I feel that like I just need to keep going through it even when I'm not budgeting because I mean this is real life, right? So anyway, we left off and I was trying to budget through February 3rd through February 10th. And supposedly I was supposed to have that much money in my account to pay all the bills or whatever. And I was like, I don't I don't have that in my account, so we'll see how it plays out. Okay, so it would have played out good, as far as everything getting paid for, but I ended up making a decision about my car that kept breaking down. That probably wasn't the best decision, but we'll get there in a minute. Okay, so we started the month off with what was coming in money wise. As my son, I got $727.69 from him. I had a rollover balance from the previous week of $156.71. My employment paid me $1355.67, and my boyfriend ended up giving me $700. And then I found $121 in an old wallet. All right, so that left me with $3,061.07 to pay for the expenses for last week, which is a good number. I know, unless you're me. So my daycare came out, which was $195. My daughter's lunch, which was $30. My mortgage, which was $1,019.28. My insurance went up again, $366.83. My cable, I don't know if you guys remember that I somehow accidentally paid an extra payment last month. So it actually didn't end up coming out, and I don't owe until March because of that extra payment. Credit card number 3, which if you remember my original debt video, credit card number 3 here. I forgot that I had moved it to the 22nd. So that also did not come out. And then my Apple didn't come out either. And it usually always comes out by the 9th. So I went ahead and rolled it over to my next bills because I don't know what happened. It's technically supposed to come out on the 7th. And then credit card number 4, if you remember from my original debt video, came out at $40. So that left... okay, so sorry. But credit card number 1, remember how I paid that off? Well, apparently they charged interest still. So I ended up paying $16 towards that interest. And then I guess I have a Barnes and Noble membership that came out too. I didn't know about this. It must have been something that I did when I went to go purchase my books the other day. But that came out. I got to find out how often that's going to come out, because if it's like a monthly thing or whatever, then I need to cancel that. But with all this being said, my fixed expenses ended up coming to $1,692.11. I ended up going to the grocery store, apparently wanted to, I'll let you know what that was, ink that I needed for my printer. That's what that came from. Okay, so you guys, there was just so much spending going on that I just calculated it all under the frivolous spending. But you know, a lot of this chunk was I had to create a binder for school, so I had to get some materials for that, and then plus groceries, and a majority of this was food, and it wasn't like grocery food or budgeting or anything. So my last video, I had already known at that point that I made that video that I had already went outside of the meal plan a lot, which is why I kept saying, you know, stick to the meal plan, because when we don't stick to the meal plan is when this type of stuff starts happening. You know, all this type of stuff starts happening. And then I don't budget. But you know, me and my boyfriend both have been really sick. Neither of us have felt like cooking. And then when I work 12 hours and then go to a clinical for 8 hours, like there's this, you know, at the end of the day, I can make all the excuses in the world. But bottom line is no one was cooking around here. So we spent a lot of just money on that. And, you know, that was bad. But we're going to be forced to, make sure we budget this coming week, and you guys will see why real soon. I paid $200 for my nurse practitioner prep class that I'm taking in April, and I'll still have to pay $319 towards that eventually, but the down payment on it was $200. And then of course I took that $121 I found and stuffed it into my first ever cash stuffing video of an emergency fund. So look at this big guy. A down payment of $2,000. So let's talk about it. My car kept breaking down again last week, and my boyfriend had to come pick me up several times, and you know, it's just, I'm like, I don't want to keep purchasing a rental just to have it go fixed, and they can't figure out what's wrong with it. I contacted my mechanic again, and he's like, I just don't know what to tell you. Like, you know, we can't figure out what's wrong with it. And I trust that mechanic too. Like, he didn't even charge me for the things that he did do to it that he felt like would fix it. And, you know, he's not the only person I've taken it to that can't figure it out. And so I just told my boyfriend, I said, at this point, I just need to try to get what I can out of it, because I still owed on it. And, you know, just get something else, because at this point, this is getting ridiculous. You know, I have a 2-year-old. We can't keep, like, breaking down on the side of the road. So I went in to the credit union I have my current loan through, and I asked them about what my options were as far as trading in that car and getting something else. And then they told me, and so I went and I got a new car, but because I still had a deficit of what that car was plus the old loan, they didn't give me back. They would only give me $4,000 less of what I owed on the car. And at the end of the day, it was still a lot more than anybody else was offering me for it. So I ended up having to pay $2,000 towards my lender to get another car because of that deficit to that. And at the end of the day, it was probably going to be around that, plus all the other stuff that was wrong with the car to even fix it in the first place. So, yeah, it was a loss, but, I mean, I was probably about to have to start sinking a lot of money into it anyway. That and car rental fees and everything. because who knows what it would have cost me just to not even get it fixed, if that guy would have charged me. So I did make a decision to get a different car, and it did cost me $2,000. Now, the bad thing about this is they told me over the phone that I could use a credit card to pay that. And I was like, okay, great. So I get off work. I get to the car place. It's like 8:45. They close at 9. We're trying to get all the paperwork done and everything. And then he says, how are you paying for it? And I said, I'm going to pay with my credit card. I was going to use like a split payment to use my credit card number 1 that I paid off, and then my credit card number 2 that I paid off, because even though I owed that to pay it off, like there was still more money in it to be had. So then I would ended up racking up my credit cards again after just paying them off. However, he says, oh, we can't take credit cards. It has to be a debit card. Y'all, beat me up in the comments, but I used my debit card, and as you know, I am in the hole. Now, this is why I say the math ain't mathin', because I added up everything minus what I brought in, and with that being said, I should have been negative $635.52 coming into the new week. But I'm not. I'm only negative $428.39. I mean, not that that makes it any better, but like I said, I'm about to start calling this channel the Hot Mess channel, not the budgeting channel. But yeah, so on the 10th, my employment paid me $1355.22, but because of that down payment, and my daycare automatically coming out, and my trash automatically coming out, I'm starting off with everything else that's supposed to come out, negative $428.39 until the 17th. So I really do not want to use my credit cards after paying them off. So my goal is to take advantage of the fact that we didn't cook everything that we bought at the grocery store last week and cook it this week. And, my daughter's lunch, I'm not going to pay that because I don't want to pay the fee that goes along with it. And I think that she still has enough to cover for the week, and her little baby butt is suspended on today and Monday anyway, so that kind of helps. But yeah, so, including my daughter's lunch, $1,273.68 is supposed to be my fixed expenses for this week. But we could go ahead and minus $30 off that because I'm not paying it. But what's supposed to come out is the daycare, which already did $195, trash $67.50, which already did, Chase $40, personal loan $211.04, personal loan $298.05, electric has roughly been around $400, you guys. It's mostly the gas portion of my bill. And then credit card number 6, nothing should come out for that because I paid it off, but I'm still leaving them on here just in case like some random interest rate pops up. And then my Apple, I rolled it over since it didn't came out yet to $32.09. Flex, I'm not even putting anything in there because I literally should not have any flex expenses this week. I don't even have the money for it at all. Because when it's all said and done, we're going to be negative so much money here. So much I don't even know if even my February 17th check is going to get me out of it. If I work my full 3 days, I definitely should be able to get out of it. The problem is I've only been averaging about 2 days a week. And then when I work 3 days is when you guys see my paychecks upwards to $2,000. So, yeah, so I shouldn't have to get gas because my new car, oh, and the kicker is the new car is already messing up. So I already have a service. But yeah, the new car, it only has like 40,000 miles on it. It's a 2019 and it's already acting up. But I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So yeah, I do apologize for this video and for the fact that it's really not budgeting at this point. You guys are just watching me spend my money. Like, I don't even know what else to say. But yeah, the goal is not to touch my emergency fund or rack up my credit cards because I did so good at creating emergency fund and paying off my credit cards. So I'm just really going to try to take this week to utilize everything we already have and not spend any money. So I'm going to call this a no spend week. So stay tuned for next Friday to see how well I did with my no spend budget because we don't even have a budget. Thanks guys for watching. Hey everyone. So I know I kind of already closed the video out, but I wanted to give you guys a little insight of what I'm doing now to try to stay a little bit more disciplined when it comes to my budgeting. I feel that if I had a goal or an end game in mind or my why as to why I want to get out of debt, it would help me have like that moment before I spend to say, hey, if you buy this, you're sacrificing this and so forth. So one of the things that we really want to do is we want to buy a piece of land, you know, kind of something more not completely off the grid because I like the luxuries of electric and everything, but I really would just like some land where we can cultivate it a little bit more and have like a little bit of different of a lifestyle. I know you guys know that I'm in school to be a nurse practitioner, and what I really want to do in the future is own like my own little practice or my own little telehealth business because I really want more freedom in my life. And so I would like when I look into my future and I see what I want and what would, you know, be my end all, it would be me literally living out in the country somewhere, seeing clients at leisurely, and that type of lifestyle is really what I'm striving for. So I feel that if I could just picture the lifestyle I want, say that it can be a reality, and if I could save this money towards this property, towards this business, then I could live the life that I want. So right now I'm just trying to, you know, visualize that, and that way I could start trying to find a reason to be more motivated and more disciplined about everything. So I just wanted to fill you guys in on that. So thank you for watching.